Okay, we're going to do our change gears for 13 threads per inch. Okay, this is the default setup for this lathe. There's A, B, C, and D. So A, B, C, and D. So 20, 80, 20, 80. So we have a 4mm and a 5mm Allen wrench. It's going to be needed here. So there's your this 20 gear one is the 4mm, and you'll want to replace the washers that came with this right away. I made just a slightly thicker washer, and you want to keep those a little separate here. Okay, so there's D. Same thing, replace that washer. So B and C are on the same axle. There are spacers, and sometimes the spacers need to be moved from one side of the gear to the other. So I'm going to pull this bottom 80 off. As far as the fitment goes on these, you may need to work on them. A little file, little emery paper. So I'm going to take the 20 off the center here. Take the 80, which is B, and be mindful of the keys. That one came out with the gear. Well, there's actually a collar here. Okay. So this is one item that I've had to replace several times actually. And it's this little axle here and its collar with key. Little Machine Shop has any part you can imagine for this machine, for this mini lathe. And there's a dozen or so machines that they carry parts for. And I mean, they carry the decals, you know, for the, there's a decal on mine that's coming off for the half nut lever. They carry every part of this machine at a reasonable price. Now this here is your banjo. And there's one bolt down here, and then there's a bolt holding this shaft, this axle shaft. And that's for adjustment of the gears. So I'm going to get myself a piece of paper here. Just a piece of, I usually use yellow legal pad paper, but I'm just going to recycle some paper right off my printer. And I'm going to cut myself a couple strips. Okay. And we'll just set those aside. We're going to need, I think 2, maybe 3. So I'll just set those aside over here. Okay, so looking at the back of my gear cover, I got rid of the cap head screws and put magnets in here. Just glued a magnet to the inside of the tray here. This one's come unglued. I need to fix that. And they stick to this screw right here, this button head screw. And it makes taking this thing on and off much faster, a lot less hassle. But on the back of this is the change gear legend. So we got A, B, C, and D, which we discussed. 13, we need a 40, 65, 60, 30. 40, 65, 60, 30. So I got my gears over here. I'm going to take this 20 off here. And this is my other 80, which goes over here. So the default is 80, 20. Okay, I'm missing a key here. Where'd it go? There's the key for that. I didn't hear any keys dropping. Okay, let me pause this a minute and find out what happened to that key. Okay, we found that key. It was where it's supposed to be. Hey now, it's enough of that. Hush. Okay, here's the 40. There's its key, it's on there. Next is 65. And that's going to be on the B position. That's the inside. Okay, I'm going to pull that off and just push that flush and slide it back on that axle. Okay, and this nut was interfering, so I went ahead and moved that out of the way. Let me see, we are 40, 65, 60. And last but not least, 13, let's see, 40, 65, 60, and 30. And this would be the 30 on D. Okay. So now we want to get the banjo adjusted to where all these gears are going to intersect. So that's pretty close right there. I'm going to just snug it. I'm just going to snug this main bolt on the banjo. It's not good enough. I'm not really engaged up here. Okay, that's good enough. So we'll take one of my pieces of paper. And we're going to put it here. And we're going to put one of our pieces of paper here. Okay, I'm going to give that a little snugging. Maybe a little more than snugging. Now this axle here. Get my paper back in there. And then you got to reach back in here and give this nut a turn. Okay, let's take a look at that. I don't really like this one. So I'm going to loosen that up again. Okay. Okay. Yep, that's good. You don't want it 90%, 100% engaged in there. There's a broken tooth. And this paper seems to set that adjustment as needed. So I'll get my little bitty 4-inch first, and that's BC. And then these number 5s are A and D. And that, my friends, is the changing of the change gears for 13 threads per inch. Give those a good snug. I'll get my 4-inch here, or 4mm. Give it. Okay, I'll put all my tools back over here with my 80-20-80 default gears. Okay, that is going backwards, so I want to go forwards. There's 2 gears right here. This is forward and reverse feed. I replaced those and went ahead and replaced them with steel gears. It cost a couple dollars. And like a little machine shop, every nut, every bolt, every decal, every light bulb, it has everything, any part you could need for this machine. There's no excuse not to have that. So let's go ahead and give it a little under power here. And I'm going to engage a half nut. Oh, I don't like that. Okay. That has nothing to do with my gears. Why am I sounding so horrible? reverse and see what that sounds like. No idea. Actually, that looks like I'm having pulley issues on my motor. Either a belt or a pulley. This isn't good, folks. In low range, let's try high range and see if that makes a difference. Huh. We have a dilemma here for sure. Pull the stock out of there, eliminate any outside. Okay. Seems to be a possible lubrication issue with the lead screw. Let me just try getting a little love up there for that. Love here. Okay, now let's activate the, put this back in, it is in forward run, and I'm going to go back to low. Okay, I confirmed that we are looking for 16 threads per inch. And I believe our major is 5/8, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, our major is 5/8. So let's go ahead and, are we recording? We are. So I'm going to go ahead and dial in 5 thousandths. And okay, how are we gonna do this? Okay, we're gonna I gotta get my lead screw. I gotta put my thread. I need to mount my thread gauge. Be right back. Well, as it stands right now, I can't find my thread dial. And I don't think I'm going to be turning any threads without it. I just wonder why it even needs it. It's to start in the same place every time, but this needs a specific start. Out of 8 positions, it only works in 1. But I really am put it back. all I can do is back away a little bit and stop looking for it. Maybe it'll come to me. I know where it should be. There's no reason why it wouldn't be there. It's either on the machine or in that drawer. Apparently that's not true. Alright, that's a damn shame. Well, I know I can get a new one at littlemachineshop.com. Along with my decal for my half nut engagement. Alright.